I did a recent newsletter about Senator Tim Scott hitting a home run. I did that in part because he had issued a statement that was so succinct, so clear, had five key principles. And at the America's New Majority Project, we had actually tested it, and we were just very impressed with how many Americans fit into Senator Tim Scott's model. So it's so important. I want to read just what he said to make sure I get it exactly right. Senator Scott said, "If you're able bodied, you work. If you take out a loan, you pay it back. And if you commit a violent crime, you go to jail. And if you're a man, you should play sports against men. America needs more victors and less victims." Now, when we tested all that, it was fascinating. 46% of Americans strongly agree with Senator Tim Scott's proposition. 7% strongly disagree. In fact, I want to go back and have a better understanding who the 7 are. That means you have almost a 7-to-1 advantage among people who feel strongly that Senator Tim Scott was outlining principles that are at the heart of being American. Now, when you add in those who are more softer in their view, that is, they agree, but it's not strong, it still turns out to be 71% of all Americans agree with Senator Tim Scott's formula, and only 21% disagree. Now, that's really, again, an amazing number, and it tells you that you're about 3.5-to-1 in general, but you're at 7-to-1 among those who feel strongly. I thought it was powerful for a couple of reasons. First of all, Senator Scott, who I've known for many years, is a naturally positive person. He's a unifier. He wants to find solutions, not arguments. He reaches across the aisle to Democrats. And clearly, if you have a position which is 71% approval, you're getting Democrats, independents, and Republicans all agreeing with you. So I thought in that sense, it really was a home run. In addition, he had really broken through and gotten to the core of what makes America, not Republicans, not conservatives, but America, such a remarkable country. You know, the fact is, there were certain core values that the founding fathers really based this whole system on. They thought the work ethic really mattered. They thought that having a sense of personal spiritual involvement mattered. After all, if your founding document says you're endowed by your creator with certain unalienable rights, among which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, almost by definition, you're appealing to people who believe they have a creator. So there's kind of a core underlying base to the American system. And if you think that you've got to be prepared to pledge your life, your fortune, and your sacred honor to that document, again, you're making a pretty powerful statement. The founding fathers expected us to work hard. They expected us to basically be honest. They said over and over again, this is only a system that works if the people make it work. That you can't write laws and build structures that replace people if the people decay. And I thought that Senator Tim Scott, by the way he had framed this, had brought us right back to the core values and the core realities that Americans have to exhibit if our constitutional system, the rule of law, and our ability to govern ourselves and to live freely is going to survive. So I thought it was really worth talking about and looking at. And I strongly recommend that you look at Senator Scott as one of those unique leaders. I've known him since he first ran for a county commission back in 1995. I knew him when he was a congressman, and then when he became a senator. I thought he did a great job answering the State of the Union 2 years ago and had a positive, a very appealing approach. And I think that he has a great future. I just strongly recommend you look at these 5 values. Look at yourself and ask, is this what you believe? Is this what you want your children to believe? And maybe we can come together. Part of the reason we created America's New Majority Project, which you can see at americasnewmajorityproject.com, is we wanted to reach out and poll and understand the American people and look for those issues that bring us together rather than just the issues that are negative. So Go take a look at americasnewmajorityproject.com. Take a look at what Tim Scott has said and ask yourself, isn't it great to have a positive statement that can bring us together, that we can work on, and that clearly, if implemented, would make this a far better country? You can watch Senator Scott's commercial by clicking on the link below. My new book, March to the Majority, is now a bestseller, and it's available at Amazon, at Barnes & Noble, and at bookstores everywhere.